This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't you feel super today because it's Super Tuesday?
Oh, yeah, Tom. I feel very super. How about you, Tevin?
Oh, I'm feeling extra super today. We're going to go to the polls for our on sideline reporter,
Chris Egert, to you.
Isn't that pronounced Pauls? We're just talking about people mispronouncing things. What was it, Poutini?
Poutini.
Love
I
that
thought
poutini
it was.
from
I thought it was
Canada.
gnocchi, which is I guess is wrong.
It's gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Okay.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
See, look at that. Look at the education you get. Okay, I know we got it because it's Super Tuesday. We got to, and I don't want to talk a lot about politics, but I just got to bring one thing up in a minute here. But I just went for my walk this morning, and there was this. She's a Spanish woman. She's about 5 feet tall, something like that. Very pretty young woman. She works for the city, and she's doing some work. And I walk by, and she comes over, and she goes, "Hey, could I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Like I said, she's about 5 feet tall. It's a very attractive young woman. She goes, "I need a favor from you." And I said, "You need a favor from me? I don't even know you." She goes, "No, it's got nothing to do with knowing you." She goes, "I want you to do me a favor." I said, "Okay. I want you to go to the office that I work for, and I want you to punch out my boss." I said, "What?" She goes, "Well, you're a really big guy, and he's a little tiny guy. He's a little tiny fella. So could you go beat up my boss?" And she's like serious with me about this, right? And I'm like, "Okay." So I said, "Okay, I'll just, I told her I'd go do it, right? What am I going to say? No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going for a walk.
Because then you're next. You make the list.
Yep.
That's probably true. That's exactly right. And as I'm turning to leave, she goes, "Thank you, Poppy."
And then you blushed and you go, well, you're welcome.
"Thank you, Poppy."
Did not.
I don't know what he did to her, but he pissed her off somehow. She wanted some guy to just kick his ass.
Well,
It was hilarious.
Local man dead in an office building. Found dead in his office.
And there's a video of me talking to the woman that had him killed. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You're the fall guy.
I would love to
Would
see.
be,
Yeah,
yes.
you see like the spin where it's like local woman hires hitman.
Right. She calls me, "Oh, thank you, Poppy." I'm like, "You got it, no problem." All right, we got Super Tuesdays upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't have a dog in this fight. I have never been I've tried being a Democrat, tried being a Republican, tried to be in the middle. Nothing ever makes you happy, so I just go, well, whatever it is. I tend to now vote for the person I like. I don't really give a rat's ass what their party is or any of that stuff. I don't care. If they're good, and that's all the rest of it. So I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about mental illness. I was watching the news this morning, and there are a couple of guys. Look, remember when your mama told you when you were a little boy, okay, the people that make the rules, you have to follow their rules because they're making the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, you're going to run into big trouble, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there are two guys. Who's the guy that wore the do-rag for about a year? Did he have some kind of brain surgery or something? You know who I'm talking about? Raskin? Is that it, Raskin? I think his name is Raskin. I'm not sure. But he wore a do-rag for a long time. So I'm assuming he had some kind of, either he didn't like his haircut or he had brain surgery or something, right? But he and Swalwell, who's one of the biggest pigs on the face of the earth, and again, this is not based on their party, because I voted for both parties. I vote Democrat and I vote Republican. Depends on who I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
These two have decided, no, the Supreme Court doesn't know what they're talking about, even though they voted 9-0. We're going to wipe him out anyway. I have a question for you. Don't you serve the people? So if the Supreme Court of the United States decides this is how it's going to go, shut the hell up and do your job. And I'm not saying they were right, they were wrong, whatever. How does it affect me that Donald Trump can do whatever he wants to? It doesn't have any effect on me. But I have a respect for authority because of my mother. So if the Supreme Court voted 9-0, shut up. Right?
Right. And I'm about to.
We're looking at
I'm
Jamie
sorry.
Raskin, right? I just want
Was it Jamie Raskin?
Jamie
Yeah,
Raskin. Yeah, it looked like he had cancer.
Oh, he did have
so
cancer.
so
I
he
thought
wore,
so.
He
Yeah.
wore like a bandana after
Yeah.
his hair and whatnot.
Well, now that
Right.
makes me feel bad for what I was going to say because he should not have worn this band.
No, I agree.
He did just.
There's got to be. There's got much like a tie. It's an accessory.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
there's gotta,
Yes, exactly.
you're not
We're a
gonna-
baseball cap.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I
And
don't know.
Yeah, and I bet he would have looked fine bald.
like I will say there's some that look better, but there's some that's like he just got off a motorcycle
Yeah.
and he's like, he's pulling up to the Capitol building in a chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to be very clear. It's the fact that Swalwell and Raskin are both Democrat has nothing to do with it. The fact they're going after a guy who is Republican has nothing to do with it. I am talking about the authority of the Supreme Court of the United States. That's what I'm talking about. They made a decision 9-0. Now it's time for the rest of us to shut the hell up because we put them in that position to make those exact judgments. So shut up, right?
Right. But unfortunately, people really only put them in those positions if they're going to make the decisions that they want to.
Well, that's true.
That's the
That's
caveat.
very true.
That's what I said.
But don't we have to get back to the point where if you put people in positions of authority, you have to follow their lead, their authority, don't you?
Yeah, that's why they're there. And then if they're doing a bad job, that's when you look to replace or vote
Absolutely.
somebody else in.
Absolutely correct. And again, this is not even a political deal. It's just, I got no attachment to any of this stuff. But and do you think it's because my mother was the ultimate voice? Because she had to be. With my father missing, there had to be a voice of authority in our house, and that was my mother. Let me tell you something. I think once I turned about maybe 12, I could beat my mother up if we ever got in a fist fight. But I'm not certain about that either. Because she was a pretty tough woman. Old Toots was a pretty tough woman, I'll tell you that. Are we ever going to respect authority again? We put them there. The Supreme Court, they were chosen by this, that, and the other thing. They're the supreme authority. They're the Supreme Court. Don't we follow? You could make suggestions. Well, maybe next time let's do it differently. But you can't go back and go, oh, you're wrong. They're the Supreme Court. Right?
Yeah. For them to be wrong, I feel like there's like more of a bigger issue going on, and like I said,
agree.
Replace people, but yeah, like they're there to make those decisions. That's why they were like there. It wasn't just a random draw of people. This isn't a jury of your peers. Yeah.
Are they always right? No, of course not. But we're going to have to eventually get back to a position of authority. We're in a situation right now where Gen Zers have literally come out and vocally said, we don't want to work. We don't want to work in the situation in America. I don't want to work for these corporations. Well, I don't know where you're going to get your money because to tell you the truth, what the hell would I have done had I not gotten into radio? Do you think I would have done well in the workforce?
No, you're
That
not.
would have been terrible
You would have been the worst employee ever.
of all time.
I've had some bad employees, but yeah, you would have been up there, I think, on the list.
Terrible. There's no, and I understand that 100%. So here, Tom, here's a microphone. You talk and bring people in, and everything will be wonderful, and all the rest of it. But I just we have jobs to do. I do honor authority. If a cop tells me to do something, I would do that. My mother. Can you see my wife behind me or anything? So can I leave her out or have to throw her in too?
No, you're safe. This is safe.
Okay. I'm never doing what she tells me to do because I'm a tough guy, and therefore, I don't know. For me, I'll close with this. If I grew up in a household with no authority, I guarantee you I'd be in prison right now. Guaranteed.
Yeah, left to your own devices, there's a lot of people that just make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
It would not have been good. I'd have gone to see like Al Capone, the movie, and go, that's what I'm going to do for a living.
What a guy. That Ali C, baby.
Misunderstood.
LEC. Yeah, let's be careful with pushing around authority. You guys, shut the hell up. The Supreme Court made the decision. It was a unanimous decision. 3 of the 9 people are Democrats, correct, on the Supreme Court?
I'll take your word for it. I have no idea.
Yeah, three are Democrats and 6 are Republicans. I think that, I think there is an independent too. I'm not sure about that. But look, the Supreme Court decided, they ruled across the board 9-0. Shut up and move on with your life, tough guy. And again, I'm not going after Raskin. The man just suffered through brain cancer, you said?
It just said cancer. I have
Just
no
said
idea
cancer.
what it was. It looks like he's in remission though now, which is fantastic.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. So, yeah, absolutely. I agree with nothing the man said, but I'm very happy he's not going to die anytime soon. I'd like to see that. We have to take a break, but does that make sense? I know that a person like me doesn't usually say, look, you need to follow the letter of the law. There is authority. You know how much easier our lives would be if people would just shut up and follow authority and then put good people in positions of authority so they're not just there for the money?
I think this is a first. I've been working with you for a pretty short while here, but I've never heard you say follow the order of law exactly, like follow the man.
I always have, though. I have never been a lawbreaker. Well, I can't say that necessarily because I've gotten a speeding ticket.
Right, it depends on the no turn on red sign. I'm turning
no
on
turn on red.
That's
exactly
There's nobody coming.
No, it's just us here.
I think, and I'll close with it, I think I feel the way I do because if I didn't have anyone in authority over my head, I'd either be dead or in prison. I almost guarantee it. I probably would be dead or I'd be in prison for the rest of my life. So I'm rather grateful there has been authority in my life because I'm still breathing, right?
Absolutely.
Made better decisions for me. We'll take a break, be right back. Speaking of voices of authority, Mike Bilski. I want you guys hey, isn't it time to talk about Bilski? What do you think?
Devin, Bilski.
I have never met Bilski.
I haven't.
You haven't?
Nope.
No.
He's
got to get off his butt and get in the studio.
I'm not worthy. Yeah.
I'm not worthy. He's listening right now. I can promise you that, too. Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now because I've been with Mike forever. He's a great friend of mine. And you know what? Again, I'll tell you, I don't say that unless they really are. I'm not going to make up, this guy's a great friend of mine. No, I've known Bilski for decades, and he's a wonderful man. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now at North American Banking Company. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my bankers at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Another pal right there, Michael Bryant. In addition to having the best selection in town, K&L Surplus and Ammo has also, they're able to help you sell your firearms safely, worry-free. If you've inherited a collection of firearms from a loved one and don't know what to do with them, or if you have guns you're no longer using, call Jim at K&L Surplus and Ammo. Jim can help you sell those firearms safely through consignment and auction. I know Jim. He's extremely knowledgeable, will help you get top dollar. He'll help you explore all the options and take the work and stress off of your shoulders. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lana Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
I like how it rings out. All right. One thing, it's been, I believe, 11 days now that I've been back on social media, and I'm having a lot of fun. The personal page, I guess it's called, sold out in like the first 3 days, 5,000. You can only have 5,000 on a personal page, which I don't really understand that, but why are you laughing about that?
Just listening to you describe your Facebook, like it's sold out in just a couple days.
Well, it did.
Your cap of friends. I don't know. It just made me laugh.
Well, it's not sold out. It's
like,
what would it be? Yeah, what would it be then? Checked out?
You just reached your capacity.
Yeah,
you had to
reached
expand
your
your
capacity,
your bandwidth.
Yeah, so they matter of fact, I got a call from them that said you need to open a professional page as well because a lot of people want to join and blah blah blah. So that's up to a couple of thousand now, and apparently it's you get that up. I think when I left last time it was at like 26 or 30,000 or something like that. So I don't remember there being a professional page and a low end page or whatever the hell you call the other one. I don't remember that. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I think it started because people would do like, I'm going to add every single person I possibly can on Facebook, and then they would cap it at a certain number. Then you got your business pages and professional because I'm an influencer now and all that. So,
oh, that's right. You're an influencer when you get to a certain point. That's very, very true. I think people are shocked to death who joined my Facebook page because I've made a couple of comments, not many. I'm not negative at all on my Facebook page. I just, like we just talked about a couple of guys that are pissed off at the Supreme Court for ruling 9-0. And again, I said there are 3 Democrats or 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court, but they are the Supreme Court. They ruled 9-0, so shut up. But you got some of these politicians that just won't do it, In the old days, I would have gone after those guys like there's no tomorrow, there's no question. I mean, Raskin, I understand, just has some kind of had cancer, so God bless the guy. He's still alive, looking pretty good, grew his hair back and all the rest of it. I don't know. I think maybe the influence of you wonderful people on this show, maybe that's why I'm so even keel now. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. I'm buying into it.
That's it right there. I did, by the way, one thing I do love about it is particularly women, not men. It's been women so far. Tommy. Twins won yesterday. What do you think of that, buddy?
Hey, they're 4-5 in spring training. Therefore, they're almost 500.
Almost, man.
Almost 500. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Do you think that women can tell I was raised by women? I know I talk about it once in a while, but women can tell that I was raised by a woman. Why is that?
That I have no idea. That's an interesting.
No clue.
Yeah.
But they do. They know. And I don't know how they know that. Okay, what's the number here? People call in, women call. How do you know when a guy was raised by a woman instead of a man? Because I had no question. Idea.
I would have no clue. No.
Okay,
clue.
so we're at 4-5. It still sucks. It's a losing record.
It is spring training.
It is. I understand the split squad and all that stuff, all the rest of it. I understand a lot of stuff going on, no question about it. But we're talking to SKOR North's Judd Zulgad, ladies and gentlemen, about your Minnesota Twins. Season starts, the 29th of March or something like that?
I think it's the 28th in Kansas City.
28th, okay.
The end of the month now, which is quickly approaching because the calendar goes so damn fast these days.
I got to warn you up front, Judd, I'm in a very, very good mood today because I went for a beautiful, nice walk, and during my walk, this very pretty woman asked me if I'd beat up her boss. Actually, she wanted me to kill him, but I said, no, I don't want to do that.
Wow.
What?
Wow, that's interesting. That's a heck of a walk.
It was a beautiful walk. And she was, I don't know why she was so pissed off at her boss, but she was like, then she goes, thank you, Poppy. At the very end, it was wonderful.
Very angry, very early in the morning.
Yeah. She didn't seem angry either. She was very sweet. He did something to her. I don't know what the hell he did to her, but...
Sounds Poppy, dangerous to me is what that sounds like.
Well, there's a possibility, I suppose. Speaking of dangerous, have you guys seen the promos? Because did you see the TV show Griselda?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. That was Tevin, what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. But I'm a sucker for all the underworld drug shows. And
me too.
How are we going to move this cocaine across the world?
Okay, I do have a question for you. Now, you guys saw the promos for it, didn't you?
Mhm.
I don't think I did see the
Trailers and
promos for
stuff,
that
yeah.
one.
Oh, you never did? You never
No,
did?
I never saw a commercial for that one.
Okay, the reason I'm bringing it up is because they have the real story of Griselda, the actual Griselda, who
Yeah.
killed 120 people. Jesus.
Oh, wow.
She killed 120 people. But the reason I bring it up, picture Sofia Vergara in your mind, because that's who played her in the show, Griselda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now picture the exact opposite of Sofia Vergara, an extremely homely woman, and that's who Griselda really was. And me, tough guy, she's dead. That's why I can say she was homely.
Just in case her grandkids are listening.
Still not doing it.
She can't get you.
She killed 120 people. Jesus.
Now, that's pretty damn prolific.
It is prolific. There's no question about it. But I never had any interest. There was a lot of drug dealing in my neighborhood, but I never had any interest in doing drugs or selling drugs or any of that stuff.
Can't say I did. No. No.
Well, let's
Beer,
find
yes. Beer, sure.
absolutely.
Mixed drinks, okay. Back in the day, yeah, absolutely.
Back in the day.
Drugs always seem like a lot of work to me.
I never trusted the dealers. What else you putting in there?
Oh, that's
never,
another.
Ever trusted them.
That's a great point.
No, thank you.
Or
Street
always
drugs.
seeing the before and after pictures, and it'd be somebody missing. You know, like they'd have one snaggletooth left. That was no thank you.
Oh, that's the hard stuff, man. That's bad. Bad news.
Not good. Well, how about that guy sneaking 170 pounds of, was it meth, fentanyl, and heroin or cocaine across the border? 170 pounds. Wow. Where did you hide 170 pounds of drugs?
Trunk, maybe? Yeah, you thought it,
In the trunk.
you thought it might work? You thought customs wouldn't look?
Judd's got one of those sticks with like the bandana just tied to the end of it. Yeah.
Like the bums in the old days.
Yep. I've never gotten meth, though, because the danger of cooking meth in your house is so high. Like, do you really want to deal in something that could blow your house sky high?
No.
That's what I've always thought.
Other than Catherine, I've dealt with her, and she could blow the house sky high, believe me. You ever seen Catherine go off the deep end?
No, I've got my wife. I don't need to see your wife go off the deep end.
I just love that. You get the look, and you go, boy, I'm going to go out for a walk. I'll be back in a couple hours. It's the look, isn't it?
The longest walk.
I've seen her start to get frustrated with somebody once, and I was like, oh, what's that? You guys need me over there?
I love it. No question. Okay, so the Twins are coming up in about a little over 3 weeks. Not bad.
Yep.
Was it the 5th today? So, yeah, it's just over 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're good. I'm telling you, man, time is flying again. March always flies by.
I agree with you on that one. March goes by very, very quickly. You're absolutely right. Then you're in the middle of April. But usually the amazing thing about Minnesota is usually it warms up around June 20th. And this year it warmed up in like January.
Here's my question: are we going to pay for this on like the back?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
when are we going to get kicked in the ass for this?
There's no question. You will pay for that. We will all pay for it because that's just the way the universe works. Oh, really? You like this? Well, you ain't going to like what's following it next time.
So, like, are we going to pay for it in April? Like, are the Twins going to? Because the Twins, by the way, have a bunch of home games. So if it, and the funny thing is, we do need rain. So you can't complain too much if it starts to rain because it's so, because of the lack of snow, it's so damn dry. So
I told this story, Judd, about this in 1976 or 7, something like that. Mm-hmm. I bought my first Twins season tickets. I had 4 tickets right behind the Twins dugout in the second row. I believe together they were $11,000 a year for those 4 tickets.
Okay.
I looked at those same tickets that are now $110,000 a year.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's like, what? They went up 10 times?
I'm actually surprised a little bit that 4 tickets, even those going to seat to the Met, were that much.
Thinking about it, you're probably right. It could have been like 6 tickets because, 11,000 back then.
Yeah.
No, you might be right about that. It was wonderful. But Calvin Griffith was there every game I went to. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? We're going after that big stick. We're going to find a big hitter, Tommy. I'm like, okay, Calvin, sounds good, pal.
Calvin, yeah, but you're not going to pay him.
No.
We're going after Reggie Jackson. Well, that's great, Calvin, but you ain't paying Reggie.
Oh, God, I got one of my favorite memories sitting out at the old Met, hazing the piss out of every other team that came to town. Reggie Jackson's out stretching in right field because I'm on the first base side, like I said, second row.
Sure.
And I'm going after him big time, and he bends over to do some little waist bends, gives me the finger between his legs.
Now that's creative. See, that's why I loved Jax. That's creative.
I agree.
That is great. Although I do love your Don Baylor basically threatening to kill you story.
Oh,
too.
he threatened to kill me. And the sun did disappear. I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the front row over on the third base side for that game. And all of a sudden, I'm like having a ball. All of a sudden, the sun just disappeared. And I looked up, and I kept looking up, and I kept looking up. And finally, I saw his face. And he said, "Shut the F up and watch the goddamn game." I went, that's a good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Baylor.
Thank you, Mr.
And then he hit that huge home run years after that in Game 6 of the '87 World Series. You're like, I really like that guy.
What? I've always liked him. There's no question about it.
Always been a favorite of mine, that Don Baylor.
Oh, God. That's what I love about baseball. Because football games are too noisy. You can't really haze anybody at football games. It's too noisy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so, basketball games, can't do it.
Baseball is the one sport where at least it used to be great to ride guys.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we still do that much, and I don't, it's such a different culture now, and I don't like players. Like back then, players were used to it.
Yeah, they were. No, you're absolutely right. They were. I don't know. But that was just part of the fun. There's no question. But and I was told by other hazers, the only reason they're so pissed off at you is you're really good at this. You're really good at insulting other people. I said, yeah, but I grew up in my family. I learned from my family. They're really good at that. So, it's...
You got to be funny. If you're funny and haze somebody, then that's a plus.
Yeah, that's the whole... Yeah, just go, you suck. That's not hazing.
No.
You suck isn't hazing.
You can't swear, too.
Exactly.
It's got to be creative.
Yep.
The reason Baylor got so pissed off at me is because Oscar Gamble put on the batter's helmet to go up to the plate, and he had that gigantic fro, remember?
Oh, great fro.
And he had the mouse ears sticking out after he put the helmet on. Yep. So I'm going, Mickey Mouse Club, Mickey. And they didn't like that at all. They did not find that funny in the least. Sugar tits.
Oh, you know what? He had one of the great afros in baseball, the 70s, though.
Oh, he did. There's no doubt about it.
There were a few of them that were just outstanding, and Oscar Gamble's was among the best. And that's before ear flaps.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So, like, the helmet would have sat like what is now a nacho helmet at a baseball game right on top of his head perfectly.
It's true. And they did look like mouse ears. That hair looked like mouse ears. Really did.
Oh, funny.
So what else has happened, man? I know you got to get cooking here, so we'll hand over the closer to you.
Timberwolves won last night. They had lost 2 consecutive games. They had lost to, Sacramento on Friday, and then they actually lost to the LA Clippers on Sunday in a game they completely blew because they got off to a great start. Came back and won last night. Here's what's weird. They just completed a 7-game homestand. They're now going on a 6-game road trip. I'm not sure why we can't sort of get the balance of either of those right, but
would that be because of the Big Ten tournaments that are in town?
That's part of it. Yeah. Yes, that's probably it. But it's sort of. But the Big Ten. So the Big Ten women's tournament is here this weekend, and then the men are here. So they must be kicking them out for the entire run of it, where they can't come back and play a game. Yeah. So. But yeah, that's a good point.
Let's hope Anthony Edwards just doesn't miss his flight like he missed the for yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It happens.
That's pro sports. Of course it happens. Guys show up late to things. Guys miss as Tevin just said, the tip off. And the NHL trade deadline is at 2:00, I believe, on Friday. And so I think the Wild, it's safe to say, will be trying to shed some parts. They are not in a position to make moves to help themselves because they are basically dead in the water.
Unfortunately, the state of hockey have never won a hockey championship at the professional level.
Yeah, we should probably start to clarify the state of amateur hockey.
Yes, there you go. The State of Amateur Hockey. I like it. That works for me. All right, Pally, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Outstanding. You certainly will. Talk to you guys then.
Sounds great. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Judd Zulgad. Ladies and gentlemen, SKOR North's Judd Zulgad. Take a break. Be right back in a couple of seconds. Chris Egert will join us right after this. Every new year is a chance for a fresh start, and the most profitable start you can make in 2024 is to take advantage of the business opportunities in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Make 2024 your year to discover the benefits of Sioux Falls. We're hearing from Minnesota companies considering expanding or relocating to the Sioux Falls area. Minnesota business people are excited about our short commutes, safe streets, quality of life excellence. We've got the details at SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. In Sioux Falls, you'll discover a friendly pro-business attitude along with a productive, growing workforce. No personal or corporate state income. I love that. The income tax. Go away. Low workers' comp rates and a lot less red tape. We've got great people, affordable buildings, and sites ready and waiting for your expansion plans. It's an easy decision once you look at the advantages. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Visit SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
I promise I will. No question. Mike Lindell and My Pillow employees want to thank my listeners for all of your continued support. That is great. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Magnificent. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for asking.
I just, to lead off very quickly, went for a walk this morning. A young woman came over and asked me if I would beat the piss out of her boss. Right on the street.
And?
No, I was busy. I was walking.
We're not talking about what happens after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's your price?
Yeah,
wouldn't you like to know?
Wouldn't you like? No, she said, she was a Spanish woman. And she goes like, he's not a very big guy. He's not big at all. He said, you're about a foot taller than he is. I said, okay, well, let me get back to you. And she goes, okay, Poppy.
I can honestly say I've never had anyone approach me with, I mean, maybe that's because I wear makeup for a living and have one leg, but no one's ever asked me to beat up their boss.
I have been told that I didn't know this before, but I've been told my whole life that I have a look of someone who's insane. I look like I'm crazy. Do you find that to be true?
I don't think insane. I do think you have an intimidating look.
I do. I don't mean to.
No, but I remember the first time I met you, I was like petrified. I was like, oh God. I was, and people always ask me that. I'm like, no, he's great. He's a great guy, blah, 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 blah. But you do have maybe it's your stare. I'm not sure what it is, but you're intimidating.
Do you think you learned that from your schoolmates growing up in on the north side? Maybe you don't even know you're doing it, I think.
Putting out a vibe.
Yeah, I guess. You just leave me alone. Get away from me and leave me alone.
Hey, if that helped to stop you from, getting into a scuffle back in the day, then I guess it was worth it. A good skill to develop.
One thing I always did love, though, if I ever did get close to a scuffle, Andy Fisher, my best friend in the world, stepped up. Andy was about 5'7", weighed about 160 pounds, and could beat the piss out of anyone I've ever met. Tom, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it. I said, Andy, I'm big enough I can take it. Nope, I'm not having my friends fighting. I'll do it.
He was your muscle, huh?
He was my muscle. He was. I loved that man. He's a great guy, no question about it. So what's going on in the news, Buster?
Well, what do you guys want? You want more talk about the Minnesota state flag? Do you want
what now?
I haven't heard anything about that flag in like 5 minutes.
Well, I saw they made it into a sweater that you can wear.
Ooh. Well, they're and people are flying them. I've seen a couple of them hanging from people's places, but it is, as I predicted in the fall, this baby's going back to the legislature, and the first move of what will be plenty, I'm sure, is starting to happen today. So
why don't we just put it back? Well, I don't understand. You were honoring the Native Americans and the farmers. What's wrong with that?
So
just no flag is fine.
I might be on the other side of the fence, because the newer flag that has been approved, and I say that lightly because it sounds like maybe not, it's growing on me. Like it's simple, it's
who
simple.
Cares?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we had the story on this morning, and I was looking at it, and I get it from the why'd we have to change the old one aspect, right? But then I was like, dude, this is so boring. Like, we came up with the most, it's like two colors on a blue cloth. It's like,
yep.
Nothing.
I'd rather vote on like how wide the sidewalk should be down or something.
There you go. No, I don't know anybody that feels this way, but apparently in public postings and all that stuff, a lot of people feel it looks exactly like the Somali flag, and they don't want to copy somebody else's flag, I guess.
That was one of the iterations of it.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, several iterations ago, I think.
Okay.
So let's see what's going to happen today. Some Republican lawmakers are hoping to make corrections to the state seal. They want to give Minnesotans the right to vote on whether the new state flag should be approved. So that's a meeting that's happening at 2. And then there's going to be a rally on the Capitol steps about this too.
Oh God.
No, Chris. No. Chris, no.
It's Chris's fault.
I know what I'm doing at noon.
Clocking out from the news and heading over to the Capitol.
Heading over to the rally.
Is anybody ever happy anymore?
No.
They're just not. No one's ever happy anymore.
I think that's to your point, Tom. Yes. I think this is a perfect case in point. Like, even if again, whatever, people feel how they feel. That's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just, seems like in the big grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Has anybody met anybody that doesn't that's going to that would attend this rally? Like, I don't think I've ever met anybody in person that's like, oh my gosh, the state flag's terrible.
There will be people there. We had I don't remember where it was. Months ago, actually, now I brought it up. There was a county commission meeting. I don't remember where it was, but there's all kinds of people speaking out against it. So,
Well, I did hear a woman say, I don't care what you make your state flag out of, because it's representing stolen land anyway. Lady, I got a tip off for you. Other than North Africa, it's all stolen land. Okay? That's where we came from, Northern Africa. So as we kind of branched out, the second guy in who built a house apparently stole the land from the first guy that was there, according to your rules. I mean, how stupid is that?
I mean, that's a point. I got you. I definitely get you.
It's a little late to go back. Can't everybody give their house back, I guess.
I think it's just
late.
It's so interesting where we draw the line for stuff that we're going to rally about.
Yes,
a flag is definitely where we're going to, but not like the Wendy's surge pricing thing that they announced. Like, we're not.
Yep.
People are just going to be fine with that, But
Well, they rescinded it though.
Yeah, but by the way, AJ, that whole thing, what did they come up with? Dynamic pricing.
Yes.
So the next day after the surge thing, it was no.
we never said pricing.
Dynamic pricing, which means the price can go down.
That's correct.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always eat at 2 a.m. Thanks, Wendy's.
I mean, as a guy who works really, really weird hours, I'm all right with that. But yeah.
Isn't it great because I used to get up at 3:15 in the morning, going to work about 3:45. I knew every place that was open at 3:45 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All 2 of them, huh?
All 2 of them. Yes, exactly.
And on the way home too, I had certain places where I knew like there'd be certain places that would be serving their lunch menu already at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Or even earlier than that, including the Taco John's in New Hope.
See? That's all you need to know.
You go in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're getting tacos and potato lays, and I'm like, yes.
You're probably not old enough to remember when the Byerlys of the world, the Lunds and Byerlys, opened 24 hours a day for a while. I don't think they're open 24 hours a day anymore, though, are they?
No,
I don't think so.
They were for a while, and it was wonderful. You could get whatever the hell you wanted to eat at like 3:30 in the morning. It was fantastic.
Some of the Cubs around town used to be open 24, but I'm not sure there are too many of them that are still open 24.
The St. Louis Park one's open 24 hours. I think the one in Roseville as well.
Is the one in St. Louis Park back open 24 hours?
Yeah, I work a lot of late nights and stuff, and so I've frequented that at 2 a.m.
That was always my stop on the way to work. But it's so great because there's like 2 people in there. It's like the end of the world. You're walking around and like everyone on the earth is gone, and you're just like, I'll have this and this.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote their best slug line ever in their advertising.
You did?
I did, absolutely.
What was it?
It only lasted about a month though, because everybody started marching and hated it. I thought, because I supported their product and I like Cub a lot. You know what Cub stands for, don't you?
Oh, shoot. You said it, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's like Consumers United in Buying or something.
Very good.
There it is. Look at AJ.
Very good.
Steel trap of a mind.
Oh, steel trap. Yeah, exactly. But why the hell? I was just talking about Cub, and I can't remember what I was talking about.
You created a
slugline.
Oh, that all you needed to know. So I would read live Cub commercials on the. We should probably talk to Cub and have them on this show. Get them as advertisers. We don't have a supermarket, do we?
No.
Okay, well, get off your ass and sell Cub, because I'm going to bring back the line then. At the end of every spot, I went, Cub Foods. That's Cub to you, bub. What do you think?
So good.
Yeah, simple.
I love that.
Quick, rolls off the tongue, I love it.
It's a little aggressive, but I like it.
It's a grocery, damn it.
Go and get your broccoli, buddy.
Yeah.
That's Cub to you, bub.
Bub is a very underappreciated phrase, too. I'm going to try to throw that into Minnesota Live today. If there's a way, yes.
Hey, bub, how you doing?
All right. Challenge has been accepted.
What time does that air? I'm tuning in.
I really do love doing
You'll
this
be
show.
working.
Okay. So what else has happened? I'm looking at the headlines in the Star Tribune. Basically, it's Ramsey County Public Defender, ex-Assistant Attorney General, resigns in fallout over sexual abuse charges. Boy, there's a lot of sexual abuse charges going on in the world right now. Is everybody playing grab ass? What's going on here?
I have no idea. That's
Ish.
Yeah.
Never understood that. Let me just grab your butt cheek. What?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another story. Everything you need to know how to cast your ballot. Minnesota's presidential.
Going.
Yeah, time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey.
No, the one other thing I wanted to bring up, United Health Group. This thing I think I told you guys about last week. It's turning into this huge thing. They got hacked, and one of their subsidiary companies that's like the go-between between a bunch of hospitals and pharmacies, and it's going to end up being this huge thing. Even I think I'd heard it referred to as like one of the biggest hacks of its kind of all time.
Ooh, really?
And now there's some reporting that they might have paid like a $22 million ransom.
Oh,
what?
Which is crazy amount of money. It's kind of how they cobbled that all together is very. It's like crypto, and you gotta be like next level computer nerd to figure out how they sort of traced it. But it's a really interesting story, and you're going to keep hearing more and more about that. So
I want you to do me one favor today on the air.
Yes.
To one of the women you work with. Okay, you're on the set. I want you to turn to them and go, "That's Chris to you, miss." What do you think? What?
I could get away with that. I'm not sure
you could.
I'm sure I could get the bub thing. It all depends. It's all about the tone. It's all about the tone of the bub.
I like it. It's Chris to you, miss. No.
Maybe keep your hands to yourself.
Give a poke.
Yeah, poke him. Yeah, it's what I do is poke him. Good idea. Good plan. All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Chris Egert, that's Chris to you, miss. Or you could get a homeless guy and go, "That's Egert to you, beggar." What do you think?
I think we should stick with Chris Miss. Or
I think Chris misses. Ooh, Chris Miss. I get it. That's pretty good. It's Christmas time in the city. What do you think?
For some reason, I was thinking about the hot chocolate.
Oh, Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss.
When the last time you had a cup of that? Too long.
Marshmallows?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Tom.
God. Okay, let's just stop the show today at, what do you say, 9 o'clock Central?
Yeah.
Shut her down in 13 minutes.
Sorry, Josh. We're going to get some Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss is good, man. Hot chocolate. Whoever invented hot chocolate is a genius.
Oh, my God.
I love it. And by the way, heating up chocolate milk is not hot chocolate. It's close.
Gross.
That'd be kind of gross, though, wouldn't it? It's too
Just
thick or
warm
something.
milk, yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do? All right, I know we do have to take a break here. Be right back in a couple minutes. Check out and see what the headlines are in the world right now, right after this. March means it's springtime, and that means spring cleaning, and your carpets and air ducts are the first item on my list. Your carpet and ducts are your biggest air filters in your home, and you could be breathing in nasty dust, dander, and bacteria. Zero Res's platinum-rated cleaning systems and environmentally friendly ZR water to the rescue with these limited-time offers. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129 off $40 savings, $75 off air duct cleaning, and 20% off all upholstery cleaning. Zero Res has over 17,000 reviews with an average 4.9 star rating, so their gotta love it guarantee ensures your spring cleaning will leave your home looking and smelling how it should. Call 952-ZEROREZ or visit ZeroResMinnesota.com to schedule your spring cleaning offer today, and be sure to ask for the Tom Barnard special. Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward, it spells the same. Schedule your appointment today and beat the spring cleaning rush.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Just saw this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Richard Lewis. Well, I didn't know him really well. He used to come into the show once in a while. I mean, I knew him. I was not a friend of his or anything like that, but he was very friendly to me. Met him a number of times, all the rest of it. Very interesting that he is buried now in Roseville, Minnesota.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's rather interesting. Joyce Lipinski, his wife. I don't think I've ever met his wife. I don't think she ever came in, not that I can remember anyway. And she's an attractive young woman, a very smart woman, so I assume I would remember meeting her, but I don't think she ever did come in. Maybe. Joyce, if you're listening, what's the number? 1-800-CAT-MAN. What is it?
925-625-75.
625-75?
Yes. I saw a quote from that, though, saying that he wanted to be buried out in Los Angeles with, kind of around some of his like co-stars and just friends.
Yes.
But she insisted that he'll stand out a hell of a lot more in a cemetery in Roseville, Minnesota.
I suppose he will.
Yeah. I mean, there you go.
The man's dead. Just giving him the finger. You want to be buried where? Yeah, I don't think so. It's cheaper in Roseville.
Not happening. No, she wanted him to, well, she wants to be buried in Roseville, so she has to be by her husband, I guess.
Yeah, to be clear, it was agreed upon before his death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought like it was like
Yes.
in his will, bury
No.
me in LA, and
No.
she's like, no.
No, she said that they had talked about it like a while ago, and then eventually he came around to like, you know what? Yeah, let's do Minnesota.
He was just tired of the argument.
Probably true.
He
I will
probably thought, I'm gonna die after you, so I'll make the choice.
Maybe. That's a possibility. He was an interesting guy. Were you ever around him at all? Just not even talking to him, just kind of around him?
No, and I don't, because I haven't even seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, so I don't even really know him from that.
I know him almost exclusively from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
So
just terrific. Does terrific stand-up. But I will tell you one thing. His energy and nervousness was passed on to you when like if there were the three of us and Richard Lewis, all three of us would be nervous at this point because he was. You know how that happens? You're around somebody who's so wound up and so nervous that it comes on to you.
Yeah, where you're like, should I be nervous? Is something about to go wrong right now? Is there a reason that you're so anxious?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, according to his death certificate, Lewis, 76, died February 27th after suffering a heart attack. He also dealt with, I didn't know he had Parkinson's. That's terrible. Oh, that's too bad. Which had forced him into semi-retirement last year. Lewis, who earned the nickname the Prince of Pain. I'd like to be known as the Prince of Pain.
Yeah, that's almost feels like a mobster nickname.
Yes.
that sounds like a wrestler.
And it's like you're a comedian.
And the challenger from Seattle, Washington. The Prince of Pain, and then boom, and then pyrotechnics.
Yep.
That's right, AJ. I'm here to put the pain on the people. I'm the Prince of Pain. And it would be wonderful. I should have been a wrestler. I could do that voice really well.
You would have been the great. You know what you would have been? The manager, like a Paul Heyman type.
Oh, that's true. Yes, I'd
like
been a
you
good
got the
manager.
physique and everything, but the mic skills would have been too good to pass up to where you just would have been doing the talking for every like meathead that wasn't great on the mic. You would have been their spokesperson. Would have been fantastic.
You know what I loved about? I can't remember the guy's name. I can see his face. He had white hair, but he was the manager. He was the loudmouth manager, right?
Yep.
And toward the end of his career, he always showed up wearing a tuxedo. I was like, what? You're wearing a tuxedo to a wrestling match? Okay, well,
I love it. That's fantastic.
Did you ever used to watch Saturday Night Wrestling?
No, that was a little bit before my time, but like the Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw, and the AEW has been a little bit bigger lately too, and I guess not anymore. Kind of they're on the downswing, but I hear like WCW and like the Saturday Night Nitro and stuff were just fantastic times.
It was so wonderful. The Crusher, the Bruiser, these people had personalities. And that's one thing about wrestlers. I got to hang out with a lot of wrestlers, just met them lifting weights or through friends or whatever. Being around professional wrestlers was quite the experience, I will tell you that. Although you could feel when it was time to either drop back into the background viewing area or go home, because there was always some drunk at a bar that wanted to fight one of the wrestlers. It's like, you don't want to do this, pal. I'm here to tell you. These guys will kick the piss out of you. So I guess I was kind of the manager then, because I'd be trying to talk a guy out of getting beat up.
I don't care how fake, quote unquote, wrestling is. I'm not fighting the Hulk or Ric Flair or insert wrestler's name here in any bar. No.
Speaking of the whole thing, I'll have to show you this, Tevin, because I actually will see you. And Tom, I'll send this to you too. But there was a guy, it was Sting. You know who Sting is, Tom?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he just had his last match.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Sunday night on AEW. But his partner, his protege is Darby Allin. And this guy was in the ring on top of a ladder and dove off of that, did a front flip onto a pane of just real glass. They usually use like sugar glass.
Yep.
This was real glass, and he hits that impact on steel chairs, and he rolls over, and it takes like a second. You're like, God, that looks like it hurts. And then all of a sudden, you can see just blood start to just ooze out of him. All of these, it's like disgusting. You're like, why are you doing this?
Was there an explanation why they used real glass and why he decided this is a good idea?
I think it was the whole premise of the pay-per-view was Sting's last go. Like, he's officially retired now. So it was like hey, we're doing this old school way, and it was brutal to watch.
It is something. My favorite line ever. There was a place called Mr. Bob's. I think it's called Rostimo's now. I think it's still open as Rostimo's, but it was Mr. Bob's back in the day. He used to hang out there with Hawk from the Road Warriors.
Okay, yeah.
So we'd all hang out there, get together on a Saturday night or whatever, about once a month, and hang out. And I don't know why, but this guy came in and decided to insult Hawk's wife. Why you would do that? Explain it to me. What would drive you to do something like that?
Stupidity is what would drive you to do that. Nope.
So Hawkster walks over there, and I'm trying to calm him down. Hawk, don't kill him. You have to go to prison for the rest of your life, and don't calm down. I know he shouldn't have done it. Go over there, maybe slap him across the face. That'll be enough. He walks over with one arm, grabs the guy around the throat, and using his throat, in the bottom of his head, lifts him up and pins him against the wall. And he goes, okay, I've been talking to my buddy Tom here, and he cut a deal for you. Here's your option. You could either piss your pants and I'll let you go home, or I'm going to kill you.
Joke's on him, because I already peed myself.
There's a pee's coming right.
Pooping my pants. How about that?
Yeah, pooping. Yeah, that would have been worse. Make him poop his pants. That's exactly right.
I'm all empty.
The second you picked me up like I'm a child, I immediately wet myself.
With one arm, by the way.
Pepper needs new shorts.
Oh, I love those stories. Those were great memories, man. And I do, honest to God, thank God for all those great memories, hanging around with those professional wrestlers and big power lifters and all the rest of it. Although I know we got to go, but this what's it called? Nature's Own or something? Those little supplements.
The granola bars or
Nature Valley.
Nature Valley. Is that the Nature Valley?
I just got it wrong. Nature's Own is the supplements like vitamins and stuff.
Oh, it is. Okay, it's Nature's Own.
Nope.
There's a guy who's 78 years old on there that take Nature's Own, and he's on there. He's going, and I just set the world record for the deadlift in my age group. I'm gonna go and whoop his ass. I think he deadlifted like 300 pounds or something. It's like, who cares? I'm gonna go break his record just to be a prick.
That's the type of things I would do if I was like an elite athlete. Like if I was, Michael Jordan, I'm going to the YMCA. Hustling everybody, or Tiger Woods going to win a bunch of tournaments. Yeah.
Yes.
That stuff's got to be amazing. I do miss Tiger Woods being one of the top guys. I know what is he now, 55 or something? And he's about 55 years old now, isn't he?
Well, he's at the age now where his kid is
right
starting to get up there and be a professional.
I thought he was a true professional because he was very professional in his attitude, the way he played the game, the way he played with other people. I don't know. Are we ever going to have another Tiger Woods?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
God, I loved him. I thought he was wonderful. Never talked to him either.
The thing is, he's only 48.
Is he only 48?
He's 48, but with his like back problems and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
it probably feels like he's closer to 55.
It's too bad that he's never had sex with anybody. How many things did he ruin his life by stooping women on the side?
Yeah, it was he.
It was.
Yeah, the fall of Tiger Woods happened. That documentary will be great.
Oh, I think so. I think it's going to be amazing. But Tiger, we love you still, man. I love watching that guy play golf. I just did. Just terrific. Particularly that first event of the year, baby, Augusta. I loved watching him play at Augusta. That's coming up in like 2 weeks, isn't it?
It's got to be right around the corner here.
Is it the first week in April? Is that when it is? I think. Or is it the last week in March? I think it's April. I think. I don't know. Tevin's looking it up right now.
Trying to.
Tell you
We'll
what.
figure it out after the break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Be right back. We got Josh Arnold joining us, and we'll find out when that first round is in the Masters this year. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Have you enjoyed Minnesota's non-winter this year? Want to enjoy the warmth whenever you want? Two Minnesotans can help you live that dream. Matt Carlson from Realty One Group Destination Key West grew up in Litchfield, Minnesota, started out helping his friends find homes locally and in Florida, and now he can help you. If you've considered living in the warmth of Florida, now is the time to reach out to your new friend in Realty, Matt Carlson. It's a buyer's market now, and your Minnesotan friend Matt can help you with a new home here or in the Florida Keys. And if you need some guidance with financing, Kristyn Eklund from Coast to Coast Mortgage can help. Kristyn is Matt's preferred lender, can finance anywhere in Florida, and like Matt is one of us, as she hails from the Sartell, Alexandria area. So if you're looking at a new home in Minnesota, or maybe that second home or retirement place in Florida, trust your new local friends. Contact Matt and Kristyn. Visit onekeywest.com. That's onekeywest.com, or call Matt at 612-791-2345, 612-791-2345, and work with local professionals you can trust.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You horn tootin' it is, ladies and gentlemen. Josh ready to go?
This Money Talk
I'm
sure
ready
is.
to go for you, Tom.
What's happening, Pally?
Just a lot of stuff this week. We've got the Federal Reserve. Big speech. Jay Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, is speaking before both the Senate and the Congress as part of the semi-annual Humphrey Hawkins testimony to talk about the state of the economy. And he'll be asked, I'm sure, the direction of interest rates.
Yeah.
Reply, higher for longer. Higher for longer. But, and I do say but, the Fed is going to be on pause in terms of moving rates up or down. I do believe until the election. And then after the election, you might see, depending on the strength of the economy and the direction of inflation, which has been down, the personal consumption expenditure indicator has been down 12 months in a row. And the difficulty that the Fed is going to have is going to be on the price of energy, which has been, at this point, still trending up. The price of housing, and that's not your house going up in value.
Right.
It's mortgage or mortgage equivalent rent have been rising, but now they're moving more to the flat line. In certain parts of the country, they are starting to head downward. As an example, if you were down in the Fort Myers, Naples, Cape Coral area, rents are coming down for apartments, but for houses, due to mortgage rates still being up, those rates are still up. So that puts the Fed in a little bit of a quandary relating to cutting interest rates, and they want to keep interest rates higher. Also, as the economy is still pretty strong.
Well, could you do one more pretty? Go pretty. You got to do the third pretty.
You want the third pretty? Okay, pretty strong.
I love it. I'm convinced now. I want you to know that.
Thank you very, very much with that. Now, we do have a few very interesting things because we're in towards the end of earnings season, but we had a local company reported better than expected earnings.
Oh.
So they beat. They did not raise. Their guidance was on the light side, and they saw e-commerce business not go up but remain flat. But given the fact that it's got the stock has a pretty big short position, Better News sent the stock up and shorts covering. So Target stock jumped $18 a share today.
Whoa.
Which is a very, very big news. Shrinkage at Target was down. And the CEO said consumers are still spending money. What do you think about that? It's the same thing that Walmart had said and Costco has said. And even Amazon, favorite of mine, have also indicated, but consumers are being a little bit picky where they're spending money. So I've found that consumers are not spending money necessarily on underwear. They're spending money on experiences.
Okay.
So look at leisure-related companies such as Live Entertainment, Expedia, Bookings.com, Airbnb as examples. Now, another favorite of mine, Apple. Boy, when it rains, it pours related to Apple. And when the news gets bad, there's piling on this company. The other day, European Union went after Apple with a very big fine, saying that Apple was bad, that didn't allow competition in music streaming. And the dominant music streamer, Spotify, complained that Apple was not favoring them. Apple was favoring iTunes and Apple Music over the dominant player, Spotify.
Sure.
The European Union said, "Oh, you're bad, Apple. We're going to penalize you." It kind of seems that every, we'll say 6, 7, 8 months, when the European Union needs more money, they look at companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and say, "You guys are bad. We want some of your cash. So we're going to fine you for this or that." And this week, the Europeans start their Digital Marketing Act, which can impose some significant fines for these companies because they're the dominant platforms in Europe. Let's see. Europeans have not been able to come up with companies that can disrupt or threaten the grip that Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft have. So they get fined for being products that people want. How do you like that?
It is pretty amazing.
Yeah, pissed me off. And here in the United States, you've got politicians who've never worked in business, do not understand,
right,
saying much the same thing. The big companies, even though they provide a service that people want and are willing to pay for, they're bad. Kind of backwards to me.
It really is. There's no question. But so where do we head from here? I mean, what's the smart play?
Be prepared right now for a little bit of a market pullback. If it's not this week or over the next few weeks, make sure that you use some of the strategies that I use with my clients of keeping up to 30% in cash for the inevitable pullbacks that happen during the course of the year. You can buy some high quality companies that have come down a little bit in price and get ready for the next move up.
I love it. All right, Pally. So how do people reach out to you? Because I use you. I want other people to use you too. How do they do that?
They can give me a call at the office, 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Now, I always get asked, Tom, well, why don't you give your email address so we can email you? I'm an old guy. I like talking to people. Here's the phone number. Call. I will talk to you. 952-925-5608.
You're a good man, sir. We'll talk to you on the Family Show on Friday.
I will look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We look forward to it as well. We shall take a break here. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Kristyn Burtt will join us right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Hi, guys. It's Chris Egert from Channel 5 Morning News, along with my friends Megan Newquist and Ken Barlow. In the morning, we pride ourselves on sharing people's stories. I've been lucky enough to be part of this 5 Eyewitness News morning team for more than a decade now. This is where I've raised my kids, working alongside my friends for all these years. We're like a family too.
We are family, Chris. Working with you and Ken and Hannah, it is such an honor to help folks start their day every morning on Channel 5. We get to catch people up on the news that's happening, and Hannah is here to keep an eye on the traffic around town.
And when it comes to weather, I know people rely on me to plan their day and get their family out the door. Over the last 10 years, there are so many memories and so many laughs. I just love sharing the forecast alongside you guys.
I feel the same way, Ken. To all you who start your day with us here on Channel 5, we think of you as family too. Thanks for turning on 5 Eyewitness News in the mornings.
The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit tombernardshow.com, keyword partner. You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You certainly are, ladies and gentlemen. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn Burtt, what's up?
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning. I love that. I love that.
Good news for you. Let's just start off with the good news, Tom. Tracker already got a season 2 pickup.
I'm telling you, that's a good show.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it?
Know.
Tevin, AJ, have you seen
Nope,
Tracker?
I haven't seen it, but it's my next one to start.
I've only seen the commercials, but
You'd like it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
What's that guy's name?
Justin Hartley.
Really
and
good.
yeah, it got picked up for the second season after only 4 episodes, which is a great sign for strong ratings. It is the most watched TV show on broadcast. We're talking all the 4 major networks since the Young Sheldon debuted in 2017.
Jesus.
All right. And the most
Man.
watched drama on broadcast TV since Empire debuted in 2014. So we're talking about really strong numbers here. It certainly helped that it had a Super Bowl launch that gets a lot of people involved because they're all gathered around the TV. But if it's not a good show with strong writing, people will drop off very quickly. So, you've got a good show on your hands.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can you name a show that was so weak that even the Super Bowl didn't help it?
Ooh.
I never thought about that.
We would probably do a little research just to remember, because I think of like Friends having that Super Bowl.
Right.
This Is Us with Justin Hartley had a post Super Bowl show.
Yep.
Didn't Queen Latifah what is it? The Equalizer, which I'm surprised is still on the air because I don't know how you can.
But it's a CBS show. They, the one thing I admire about CBS, it's not really my network, it's a lot of procedurals, but they really understand their audience and they deliver shows where people tune in year after year, season after season, and they keep these shows on the air for sometimes 10 seasons or more. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does happen. There's no court. There are some things. How can that still be on the air? There was a period. I was trying to think of when it was, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago, probably 15 years ago, where most of the stuff that came out was just terrible. You remember that era?
I don't know. It all blends in. We've gone through phases where movies are stronger, TV is stronger. It definitely goes in waves. And of course, we're in a moment where TV is definitely stronger than what's happening at the box office. Although, Dune 2, people showed up. So people were there to see that movie this weekend, which is a good sign. It's actually helped the box office recover quite a bit.
I'm glad to hear that. I've never seen any Dune or read Dune what is it about?
It's a sci-fi movie. I'm not a Dune person.
Yeah,
people read the books.
Yeah, I've heard it be described as a more violent, kind of adult version of Star Wars, kind of.
Ugh.
And I was like, that doesn't do anything for me.
No.
But big young Gen Z stars. I mean, Austin Butler, you've got Timothee Chalamet, you've got Zendaya. And I think, this really proves Timothee Chalamet's box office draw because he's had
Mhm.
2 hits back to back with Wonka and now this, 2 completely different genres. And I think a lot of, if you talk to older generations, I'm not necessarily sure everybody knows who Timothee Chalamet is. They might know him by a photo and go, I don't know what that kid's name is.
Mhm.
But it really talks about the star system in Hollywood because, back in the day, everybody could name Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester
Mhm.
Stallone or Tom Cruise. Now, I think that there's like a gap between all of the generations and what people are watching.
Do you think Sylvester Stallone having 3 TV shows is enough? What the hell is this all about all of a sudden?
I don't know. He's got his reality show.
He's got a
Trying to make
reality
his
show.
daughters famous.
Well, Tulsa King, that's coming back, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's 2. There's something else he was on too. I don't remember. But
Hey,
he's all
well,
over
that's
the
where
place.
he's working,
Yep,
and that's
yep.
if he wants to keep working, he has to figure out what genre's working for him, what properties work the best. And, he's got 3 little Nepo babies that he wants to promote.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. You ever seen his house, by the way, in Palm Beach?
I haven't seen it in person, but I have seen photos online. It's amazing.
Well, look at this neighborhood. Oh, that's just your house? Okay.
Yeah, those Rocky checks must still be coming in.
Exactly. He's
Well, he
done
made
right.
old school money. Like, that's the thing. If
did.
you made old
Yes.
school money, invested well, you are sitting pretty right now. And he is exiting California completely. I know he just mentioned that. I think it was
Yeah.
last week. He just said, I'm done with California. And he's planting his roots in Florida for now.
It's interesting. I've walked past him once. He was sitting at the next table in Las Vegas. I didn't talk to him. And then he was also sitting at the next table in Florida one year. And I didn't bother him either time, but it was interesting just observing him and how he comports himself. He's actually seems like he's a pretty decent guy. I mean, he's in charge. There's no question about that. Even observing him eating dinner, you could still see he's in charge. One of those deals. But he seems like a nice enough guy. Have you found him to be a pretty decent guy?
He's very pleasant in interviews.
Mm-hmm.
His personal life is a really interesting one. So if you follow the
Yeah.
history, there's a lot of allegations. His current wife, he broke up at one point with a FedEx letter. He FedExed a breakup letter to her. She took him back. I mean, but he was having it's just crazy. He was having affairs with, oh my God, Janice Dickinson, one of the first supermodels. I mean, he's
Really?
got some wild stories out there. I mean, he had fun when he was like at the peak of his career. Probably his wives at the time probably didn't enjoy the fun he was having.
Sure.
But he was out there living his best A-list superstar life.
I always say I have proof that I've never done that to Catherine because I'm still alive. So there you go.
You still have a show. You're on the air.
I'm
We've
on
got
the
proof
air.
of life.
I'm breathing still. She didn't have me killed. So that's a good thing. I don't know. He just seems like he does. This might sound kind of weird, but he does seem kind of like my kind of guy.
I get it. Yeah, you guys could probably go out and have dinner and have a really good conversation and have
probably.
fun together. Yeah.
I'll give him a call later on today.
You should do it. You're both in Florida.
Yeah,
Hey, you
send him a FedEx letter. Ask him to lunch.
Yes.
And then if he doesn't, send a breakup letter via FedEx.
I will have
Or
to.
go old school and fax it to him.
Just fax it over. Yeah. God, faxing. When's the last time somebody faxed something?
Oh my gosh. Like
Been a
faxing
while.
was like such a thing. I remember when I
Yep.
finally recycled my fax machine. I was like, you were good, fella, but time to go.
When does Tulsa King come back? Because I really did like that show.
I don't know. We'd have to actually look that one up.
Mhm.
Because so many things have had prolonged timelines just due
Right.
to scheduling from the strike. And I am warning everybody, be on the lookout because we are on the throes of another possible strike with the crew. So negotiations started yesterday. So fingers crossed that AMPTP doesn't let this one happen again. But there was a big rally on Sunday and the turnout was huge. Like all of the unions kind of joined together. And they're fighting for the same things. It's the AI issues, it's the pension, the health. It's also, of course, higher pay to offset inflation costs.
Yeah.
And it's interesting though because IATSE and the Teamsters, these are all the people that work behind the scenes. And one of their big fights for the Teamsters is making sure that they are driving the cars. It's not self-driving cars. I didn't even think about that.
Yep. I know.
How jobs are replaced. And so it's important because they get the celebrities to set, but they also get all of the set pieces via trucking. So all those things are important.
Yeah, look, I've been a huge fan of television and movies my entire life. You learn some great things. You can be entertained and all the rest of it. But I think now, to tell you the truth, and you already pointed this out, and I love going to the movies, but I don't want to go see a space Star Wars. It's just not my deal. I thought Star Wars okay. I only saw the first one. I didn't see any of the other ones. Empire Strikes Back and all that. It's just not my deal. I don't care about that stuff. So television right now is pretty much kicking movies' ass, isn't it?
Yeah, it still is. There's still a long recovery for the movie industry from the pandemic and the strikes. It kind of had a double whammy right there. But and I know we talked about this a lot last summer. It's the event movies that are the ones that people are going to. It's either an original story, and it doesn't have to be a big movie, because like the Bob Marley One Love did very well. Small budget, unique story, wasn't, a franchise or anything else. People showed up for that. We know people showed up for Oppenheimer and Barbie and all of that.
Yeah.
So if we continue in that direction, people will show up to the box office. If you continue to just give us Marvel movies, year after year,
do it.
We are going to watch the movie theaters die out.
Yep. I just don't care for that stuff. Is that a younger audience, I'm assuming?
That goes to movies?
That goes to Marvel movies.
Ooh.
All the Marvel movies, I think they skew more heavily male and probably younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like younger people aren't because I feel like they missed the boat on like the big ramp up with like Endgame and everything, and now that they're in this next like phase of it or whatever, I've lost interest completely, and I feel like a lot of people also are on that same boat.
Yeah, because Endgame, that was supposed to be the last one,
and it was good too.
Yeah.
I did see that one.
Like you can't call it Endgame and then have more games afterwards.
But wait, there's more.
There's
more. Curtain number 2.
I mean, I honestly miss Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I thought those movies were really fun to watch. I mean, I did go and see some of them, but then I was like, wait, what stories am I supposed to watch ahead of time? It got too confusing of what I needed to see, and you have to stay to the end because there's a teaser for the next film. It's crazy.
Speaking of Robert Downey Jr., didn't he have some after his Oppenheimer role? There was not that he took shots at Marvel movies and his roles in that, but apparently and you can maybe confirm this whether it happened or not, but Christopher Nolan was like, you need to revive your career and get yourself a little respect back. So how about you do a real film like Oppenheimer and come act with me? So is that like, how big of a shot is that to the Kevin Feige's and like the Marvel Cinematic Universe like that?
It's a shot that's not just been taken by Chris Nolan. It's been taken by a lot of other filmmakers and actors. A lot of the actors were tied up in very long contracts with Marvel, especially when they were cranking, 2 or 3 movies out. And they started saying, I could only do the Marvel movies. I couldn't look at another project because if the schedule shifted even just by a week, I had to be in Atlanta to go shoot the next Marvel movie, and they were not going to let me out or accommodate my schedule. And I know we've heard from like Elizabeth Olsen just saying, I feel like I lost what started my career. She started out in indie films, and she's like, I'd love to be doing an indie film or 2 every single year and really exploring what it means to be an actor. Because when you're doing a Marvel film, yes, it's really nice for your bank account and gives you mass popularity. But at the same time, when you become an actor, you're there for the art of it all. And you're not getting to really act because you're acting against CGI now and green screens and motion capture. So it's a different aspect, and it does require some type of skill, but it doesn't require the skill that you perhaps went to acting school for or took lessons and things like that.
Okay.
See, there you have it. I've never asked you this before. Do you have, Kristyn, one movie that is your favorite movie of all time?
Yes, very easy. Funny Girl with Barbara Streisand.
Oh, that's a good
And Omar Sharif. And in fact, my friend used to be one of Barbara Streisand's personal assistants, and she got my, now it's old school, but DVD, my DVD cover for A Funny Girl is autographed by her. And my mom and I interviewed Barbara Streisand. I know we've talked about this before. So my mom had the opportunity to come in and do a press junket with me for
That's phenomenal.
Road Trip, which I think she did with Seth Rogen.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So my mom in the room with Barbara Streisand I thought she was going to faint or throw up or both.
What a hell of a talent.
Yes, and you know what? And I know people are just like, it's Barbara. And listen, she's earned that spot in Hollywood, but she's very kind and lovely in person. So she's a lot of fun to interview.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Devin, AJ, you got a favorite of all time?
Ooh. I don't know if I have a favorite of all time. My comfort movie that I always throw out there is Cool Runnings. From being
Jamaican
just
bobsledders.
Yep, the Jamaican bobsled team.
Are you kidding me?
That movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I have two that are they're different moods. Saving Private Ryan and then Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
But my comfort movie to kind of go with your Cool Runnings is Hot Fuzz with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
My comfort movie is Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
And Benjamin Bratt. It's so cute.
My comfort movie is The Godfather Part 1.
Yeah, just when Tom's feeling a little sick, he cuddles up on the couch.
The Horsehead is in Part 2, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Or I think that's in Part 2.
None of that's a comfort. A mob movie is a comfort movie.
It's a comfort. I would feel right at home.
Reminds me of the neighborhood, the old people in the neighborhood.
His feel-good movie is Goodfellas.
Reminds me of having my uncles over who got murdered later on. Same thing as The Godfather.
Comforting reminder to my poor brain and my mental health.
My 3 uncles that were murdered. Let's like in this movie. I feel at home. That's good.
No. Yeah, I guess each his own. It's like watching, my comfort movie is Saw. Okay, it's not my first choice.
Torture porn. We love that. Here I am. I'm like, that's what Saw is. Torture porn. That is the category that it is officially in. Yeah. No, mine's like warm, fuzzy, like title holder, beauty pageant, cute Sandra Bullock. He's Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
All right.
Did you do? Can I just ask really quick? Did you do the voiceover for that?
For The Godfather?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I don't think I was old enough yet to do that kind of stuff. Then, of course, when the press went after me and ruined my career, I haven't done anything since then.
You can do it now. You have a whole setup in your house. You're not going to make the money you used to, though. I'll tell you that.
That is the problem. There's no money in it anymore. So.
No, there's not. Everything's non-union.
Oh, well. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow now that I'm depressed.
Tracker season 2. This is good news. Invest your time in Tracker. Justin Hartley, you love him.
I was gonna say, if you're feeling sad, Tom, just put on The Godfather and just get a bowl of ice cream and have a day.
Come on, kill someone. It'll be wonderful. Talk to you guys later. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it. Family show up in about 15 minutes.